Hey, all wonderful people. Welcome to my Invigilator training. So, Invigilator is a fancy British term for proctor. You'll find that the proctoring experience for ACE exams is highly similar to that of all the FSA and FAST and EOCs. So, a couple things to keep in mind. We have a very intensive first week of exams. So I'm going to be kind of all hands on deck, particularly 2 days, Tuesday and Thursday. Our AM administration has about 180 kids, so I need 6 proctors. And that's one thing I'll talk about. The rule for Cambridge is that you need 1 proctor for every 30 test takers. So that's one rule we have to abide by. Another rule is the teacher of the class very well may proctor or invigilate. However, they cannot be the only person doing so. I wanted to try to go about doing that and setting up the schedule and having you all proctor, aka invigilate for your classes, just so I think you could be there, maybe be a calming presence to your students. And I tried to do that as best as possible. However, creating the schedule was quite complicated. And I tried my best, but if you're unhappy, please let me know. Don't suffer in silence. So proctoring, as I previously mentioned, is highly similar to that of every other time that you would have done it. We do have to create a seating chart. One thing that is a little bit different as opposed to names, the students are all registered to Cambridge via a candidate number. They will be sitting in order of their candidate numbers. And so that will be a little bit different. And of course, most of the students probably won't remember that or know that. And what I will do is print rosters for each of us to have when we administer, so we can get the kids in and settled as quickly as possible. Another thing is, as opposed to having the students take their bags, put it in the front of the class, we'll actually try to get them to get rid of their bags and phones outside of the room. The reason for that is Cambridge is extremely strict on security. So what we will actually do is, because we will be utilizing the gym for many of the large administrations, we will try to utilize the auditorium if possible, the back of the auditorium, to actually have the kids filter through and put their bags, their phones on silent, etc., and then come back through and then come into the gym. If that's not possible, we'll probably set up tables in the foyer, which is actually fenced in. No one would have access to it, and do the same thing, just set up tables. The students could put their bags out there. So they will actually not be allowed to bring any of that personal stuff into the testing room to maintain the sanctity of the information and security of the exam. So another thing is the only thing they can have is a water bottle. Preferably a plastic water bottle, and they actually have to take the label off, which seems nuts, but that's the way it is. So if they bring a plastic water bottle, it has a label on it, just stop them, have them rip that off. If they bring a bottle like a Yeti plastic bottle, we actually need to have them take the lid off and look under the lid. I'm telling you, it's extra. So security is paramount in all things. So I was looking at another school, and they kind of talked about, security and what the proctors should be doing during the session. And they actually said that, the proctors should not get on their phone or computer at any point. Now, you all are adults, and I'm not going to chastise you or limit you in that facet. However, I will say that if any of the information about the test were to get out, it would ruin pretty much everything. So the whole lot could be invalidated. So that's the most important thing. However, I think, we may have to text each other just to communicate, send emails, etc., that kind of thing. At the same time, just like it would be for those, really important tests, you want to make sure that you're up, moving around, walking through the kids, that, if there was a phone, that we catch it, and just kind of circling through. Maybe we'll take quadrants, as it's going to be quite a large space. As I mentioned, one of the administrations is 180 kids. We also need to do the seating chart, but it'll be in order the candidate number, so we might actually be able to do that in advance. And one person will have to sign off, and we will have to take attendance. So the easiest way for us to take attendance is the students actually have cards printed, courtesy of Mr. Bolter, a gentleman and a scholar, with all that information, and we can pick up the ones where students did not show up and then take attendance accordingly. And that is a pre-registered sheet, and some of the information will actually be outdated on that because we've had some changes of students that dropped the test or additional students taking the test since that original signing up period. So in addition to that, being on time is paramount. There's one day in particular, I believe it's Wednesday next week, where we have psychology and Lang, or EGP rather, and it's going to be tight trying to get the kids because there's going to be kids double blocked in that test. They're going to have to take both tests. And basically the main thing is they have to be under our, they call it full center supervision, meaning like they can walk out, they can go to the bathroom, but they can't touch their phone. Okay, so if we have students going to the restroom and we have to utilize that foyer for that, then they need to have a teacher out there kind of just watching, making sure that they don't go towards their phone, they don't touch their bag, etc. So the number one priority is security, and another thing is we have to have a clock that the students can all see. Be working on that. I'm thinking the best route might be a digital clock that I will project in the front of the room because there were some issues in the past with the big board, scoreboard clock and that kind of thing. So our first day is Tuesday. Luckily, there's no exams in the morning, so we have a little bit of a grace period of getting in here and getting our exams underway. And I'm going to send out a very detailed calendar for next week. I'm just going to take 1 week at a time. But in actuality, looking at the overall schedule, most of our exams are next week, and then the rest of them are scattered over the course of May. If it's a small administration, I will take care of that myself. There's a few of those, particularly late in May. And if it is a large administration, I just have to utilize everyone. And like I said, I will try to make sure that, if I can get you to be able to proctor your own students to be in that exam, just to kind of be a, something the students can see and, boost their confidence and that kind of thing. This is already a little long, so hopefully the information was as streamlined as I could make it, and I hope you're all doing well. I'm sending a Google form with this just to sign off that you viewed this information. Thank you. Have a great day.